come on. It is just, yeah, it's not a, I can't even speak anymore. I'm so enraged. Yeah, it's just, I'm sorry to everyone that showed up, and thank you to those who stuck it out, because this just went so wrong somehow. Like,
on so many levels.
For those listening in audio, we are starting 46 minutes late now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So right before we started getting everything together, I was like, let me restart my computer just to keep everything fresh. And it got stuck on the motherboard load screen. And I was like, oh God, what has happened? Turns out that I had a drive that died and was messing up the boot order somehow, even though it wasn't the thing it boots from. But yeah, there's all types of stuff. It's just all wrong. But welcome to the 17th episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I am your host, Mighty Vicious, here with Jammy James, the Infinite. And of course, we have the Dreams Architect here with us, Mr. Captain Morgan.
Oh, yeah. Dreams Architect.
Yes.
Hey.
So,
hello.
I can't, like, I've been following your stuff for, I would say a long time, but not as long as I've been in Dreams. Like, I would see your stuff before I knew who you were. And back then I was in the Dreamiverse, not even looking at who was doing what. I was just like, I need a building.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, and then I started recognizing the style, and I was like, I think I'm getting my buildings from the same dude. So I started paying attention to it, and I was like, yep, Captain Morgan. So I guess introduce yourself, tell the people about you while they look at this snazzy like portfolio drop I made for you before.
Oh yeah, bro, I love that. I love that
give them the intro into Cap. Let's hear it.
All right, so from anything from New York, Brooklyn, Manhattan, cyberpunk, love, death, robots, basically Japanese buildings, dojos, interior assets of, Japanese interiors, hotel haunted interiors, kind of like old stingy hotel rooms, or anything like perfect for your horror games. I've made tons of assets for you guys in Dreams. If you look up LL Captain_Morgan, you'll see tons of assets, anything from like paint block furniture to furniture sets to, just piles and piles of buildings, anything for good world building that you need. That's also very good on your gameplay space. So things that are able to copy probably about, depending on the asset, 300 to 1,000 times. You could just make gigantic worlds. So yeah, guys, thank you again, Mighty Vicious and Jammy, for letting me be here. It's a real pleasure. Guys.
Absolute pleasure to have you on.
I like how excited you are, because I never thought anyone would be that excited to be on this
Bro,
show.
I am very excited about this. I am very excited.
Oh, we love your enthusiasm. Love it.
So, being that I call you the Dreams Architect, like, what is your background? Like, did you start in?
That's a hilarious question, because I have no background at all when it comes to anything that is art, anything that is way before Dreams. The only thing I might say is maybe I dabbled in Minecraft creative mode for a little bit, and I didn't even make anything that nothing you'd see on YouTube, or I might have done a little bit of Little Big Planet, but it must, obviously it's just a couple levels here and there. I'm an average player. I just had a lot of time and a lot of consistency, and I feel like anyone could have made up the things I have made.
That's ridiculous. I can't believe that you have no background. I would have seriously thought that you would have had some type of background in creating buildings and stuff before, because the quality and style that you have to your buildings is just remarkable.
It
It's so
comes with an
shocking.
eye for basically like, I love the world. I love basically what we were talking about before the stream started. We were talking about how, when you start creating in dreams and start seeing how things get put together, the first thing that I wanted to do was build cities. And I thought about that for a while. I was like, what are what would I do with all this time in dreams? Like, am I gonna go, like, what kind of things do I want to make? And I thought, why don't we do something that synergizes well with basically any project I want to do in the future? And I thought maybe buildings, maybe cities. So from that thought, I basically kind of escalated this mountain of assets of cities and buildings and things I've like adored, like Love Death Robot episode 3. I took some I would like look at that video and I would like analyze it, be like, all right, let's see what Kowloon looks like or Hong Kong looks like in
Mm,
the eyes of Love Death Robots. And I love that style. And I would
yeah.
pull something from let's say Shenmue. So I play Shenmue. I actually did that on stream. It was my first time playing Shenmue 1 and 2 within like these past few months. Um, and that was an excellent playthrough. I love the just like an old classic game like that, you could really see so much detail and love in the world. And by looking at that stuff, you just kind of like build this eye for like architecture or level assembly, whatever you want to do. And then I ended up with my latest scene out of all this, Narima Tokyo, which was
Mm.
kind of like a mashup of everything I've accumulated so far.
Yeah. So I've personally, I know, guys, let me just tell you, as I have a random screwdriver in my hand because my hands are fiddling with everything because my nerves are shot. Okay. My nerves are shot. Um, I find that interesting because that's exactly what I wanted to hear you talk about, because it seems someone of your caliber could literally create anything you wanted. And most of the time when I watch your streams, I'm not always vocal. But every time I'm sitting there lurking your streams, if I don't speak up, I see you working on assets. And I'm like, you're literally just giving to the community. Like is there this is a question I ask everyone, but is there like a thing that you're building towards now that you've been at it for a while? Like, is there something where you're looking at your assets and you're like, well, I always wanted to tell this story, like, or I always wanted to build this type of game? Like, is there anything like that?
There kind of is like, but it's not concrete. So it's a bit ambiguous to me right now what the vision lies ahead. But at the same time, looking at basically looking at anything, yes, I literally feel like I can make anything if I put my mind to it at this point with 3D modeling. Um, it's, sometimes it's hard and frustrating, but especially with characters and stuff, I feel like eventually I will be able to do it. But yeah, just to answer that further, there would be like I was always inspired before I even played Dreams by the worlds of, like, let's say the Division 2. Like an
Mm.
amazing video game. I loved how basically everything felt like detailed wise and world wise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, am I trying to go for a world that's like the Division 2? No. But I just want to build worlds in general, so it doesn't really matter what they may be. It's just kind of like I want to get into that level of detailing, that level of immenseness of like being in a world where, you know, part of it is you're able to, in like things like video games, is play with concepts, play with the ideas of things that are not yet in reality,
Yeah.
to kind of drive that art and drive those purposes uh, to reality. So why I love Cyberpunk, why I made the Cyber City. I mean, I didn't get to make everything I wanted to, like conceptually,
Yeah.
but I did love the idea of, like, let's say, drone. I mean, but drones that deliver packages but are also streetlights. It's kind of like a
Mm.
crazy idea for crazy mix. Uh, but just playing with those ideas of and concepts of things, I feel like that's what drives me for world building. Like
Yeah.
that's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. I even made like in Arima you might see this it's like a bike rack, but it's literally just like kind of like bikes on like a conveyor belt, like that are just like you know in like a column or something. I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool. But I always have my
Mm.
eyes on stuff like that.
So next
So
question. I'm sorry to cut you off,
no, no,
Johnny.
no, no,
It-
no, no, no.
so let me say, because when I look at, for those that don't know, if you've seen the trailer for our Dino game that we're working on here at Lucid Nebula
I did.
Studios, I reached out to Captain because I saw one of his sculptures and it was it's exactly what I was looking for. That final shot of Dino standing on the barren highway with the floating city that's like in the sky, like that was Captain Morgan. So like he made exactly what I had in my brain, and I was like, I'm not gonna try to sculpt this because one, I'm not as good as him, and two, but
Come on.
a lot of people, like that leads into my question. A lot of people are caught in between this like dichotomy of working alone and working with a group, and how they feel like what that means to them on an expression basis. And I noticed, because you're doing a lot of assets, do you have stacked up like projects that you're like working on with other people, or are you like lone wolfing it out here?
It's yes, stack projects. By this point, I feel like if you stream enough in dreams and you just happen to just love to stream dreams, love to play dreams, and I'm like I just hit level 300 whatever, you're gonna have
Wow.
people reaching out to you trying to be like, hey, I got this project at it. And there's a lot of friends I've made through streaming dreams as well. I have there's Yade, Zypher. I mean, there's a ton of people I could list. Mr.
Yeah.
Fu in chat here. I just like all these guys here, even like here in this the stream with us. I consider them my friends, and a lot of these people I've worked with on projects already. I worked with Notre Dame on a project called Starving Squirrels, which turned out to be a jam entry for. I don't know if anyone's played Starving Squirrels, but
I
it's
have.
a really good game, and it's something it was like a something that was very different for me, you know, because I've
Yeah.
just been like working on city things, and then all of a sudden I get thrown into a jam, and then you're like, all right, so I got to make this log, I got to make, like this. I did grab some assets, but you got to make a whole thing come to life, and that was a lot of fun. But I can't say right now I have probably probably 5 to 6 projects that are like 3 or 4 in the background. I got like a crane machine. There's this like one where cats jump over toilet paper or something in like an apartment, and that's gonna be a game. I don't know, but it's really fun projects. But just getting involved like that, just being that yes man, you just have a lot of opportunities to grow.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I mean, I have a question that, in regards to your architectural design that you have in dreams. I mean, that's pretty much the thing that you do, right? I mean, you create buildings, you create worlds, and you're very good at it. And
Oh, thank you
I
so
would say
much.
you're probably one of the top 5 world builders within Dreams right now. I mean, the places that you build are just so in depth and detailed, and they look amazing. And that clearly seems to be where you strive from. Do you think that your passion for world building because of Dreams will lead you into a career, maybe into architecture or world design for
That's
actual games
exactly where I
outside
want
of
to
Dreams?
go. Yeah.
Yeah,
So very good question. I would like to go into interior design or
mm,
architecture. It could be anything. I just want to get into it. Like
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be that guy. But yeah, it's architecture is what drives me in building the textures to the walls and the floors, and um, having those like little concrete nooks. It's very relaxing, and uh, I mean, as kind of like repetitive as it may seem, it, it's not something I ever get bored with. I always love to see like how it all comes together. So yes, I would like to get into architectural design. That is something I want to strive for in the near future.
I mean,
and
and that's sorry.
No. Keep
I
going.
was just I was just gonna say it's amazing that Dreams has been able to open your eyes to something that you wouldn't have necessarily noticed you had a talent for if it weren't for Dreams. I mean, like this could be a complete career change for you. It could be a whole new lifestyle
Oh,
choice
it's
because
a
of
definitely
what Dreams
complete
has done.
career change. I used to be a plumber,
Oh wow, okay.
so it
That
would be. I
strangely
mean,
makes sense.
there were some like assets where I thought, well, it would be really cool to see if I can make like a good plumbing. I have thought about making like a boiler, um, and do all the piping to it, and then like name what the piping parts are. I think that would be a really cool showcase.
Hmm.
Uh, I haven't gotten to that yet. That's one of the projects in the back of my head.
I
But
mean, you could seriously though. I mean, with the talent that you have, I mean, if this is something that you're looking to get into, I mean, you could literally get into interior design using Dreams as your platform to design the interiors for, for buildings and things. You could seriously use it as a piece of software as it is
I
to
don't blame
to
people
provide
for
that.
wanting to use Dreams for that. In fact, it's if it, I completely agree. I think Dreams is a very good tool for interior design or architecture, um, because of how easy and fast you can make things. It may not be something that might be looked at professionally, but maybe one day it will be, and that's
Well, when I look at your stuff, I immediately thought to myself, man, like with things like the tiny house craze and all that stuff going on within the states right now as well as across the world, I was like, some firm that builds tiny houses would probably, be able to use what you do right now to help their business as far as putting together, because most of it is built in like what do you call it, like sections and quadrants, and basically, they're shifting things around. I think that, like, you could probably show what you have already and get a job being as like uh, a consultant. Like, if someone
Yeah,
comes in and says, "I want this house built," then you could work with that person to basically build it and then give it to the developer. Like, I'm telling you, if I can't do anything you do. Like when I make a room, I'm like, okay, I have a box, and then I fight, and then I fight inward. Like that's that's my process. I'm like, okay, I know a room has 4 walls, maybe more, but we'll start with 4 because before I get lost, and then we'll like that's how I work. And I've seen you work, and it's just like I've even tried to deconstruct how you do certain buildings like in dreams, just like pulling them up and then seeing what changes what, because I'll be like, I want this wall gone, and then I'm like, hey, why does that wall disappear when I'm doing this
oh
wall? And then
oh
I'm just,
yeah.
yeah, like and that's learning, but it's just like, oh, so that's what he's doing. And it's just like I can't say enough, and I know everybody thinks I just slide across the ground on my knees for our guest, but like I have spent a lot of time with your creations to try to get a
That really
better
means a lot.
understanding.
That really means a lot, Mr. Vicious.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd love to get into that some more. I think I was talking with Jamie off stream, and I was thinking maybe for a topic for today, I could go over maybe some tips and tricks for people that I might know off the top of my head, just to throw out there. Because I haven't really made any YouTube content, and I was thinking, if I was listening to a podcast, I would love to hear tips and tricks. Like maybe that's, I think that would be one of the biggest reasons why I'd be an active listener is to learn more.
well,
absolutely.
I'm getting my notebook out. Go ahead and start.
So, all right. So I first came across an artist named Edward on Facebook, and he does a lot of good conceptual architecture uh, using cityscapes and Cinema 4D. And he makes the modules up himself, and then he kind of monopolizes them over a terrain. But what I noticed was that all of his terrain would always be made of basic shapes. So, he would have something like a sphere, and imagine the sphere kind of like hovering over a plane. So you'd have a plane below and a sphere, and then he would just kind of like texturize that sphere with a ton of buildings, and it'd make it look like a world or something. And then on the plane, he would just like add more buildings, but literally it's just a sphere in a plane, and then he's just like kind of building on top of that.
I've seen his
And
work.
oh, you have?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know exactly what I mean, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, if you haven't checked out Inward, guys, he's an amazing conceptual artist. I love showing off his work on places like my Discord. Um, and to build on that further, I learned about this methodology of basic shapes. So everything has basic shapes, and I don't mean to like kind of like make it seem too obvious, but it's really that concept that that's the foundation or of 3D modeling. And once you start to understand how, like maybe like a lamp is like, oh, I see a cylinder in that lamp, or I see um, like these different shapes and different things, you'll start to realize, like that's how you can make it in a 3D modeling software. So once you start picking up on that, there are also another trick is the kaleidoscope, which I use all the time. And kaleidoscope is my friend. I when I first worked on Cyber City, I was thinking like, all right, so I know that if I make things in one sculpt, I could copy it a bunch more times in Dreams. But if I were to make 4 buildings in one sculpt, that would make 4 times the buildings uh, that I could copy. So I learned that Kaleidoscope would be able to work on multiple buildings for me as I was working on one. And by learning off of that, I just kind of learned that um, you kind of like use the Kaleidoscope tool in a way of symmetry. So
Yeah.
once you start, everything has a lot of symmetry to it, like a desk or a table, or not desk, but like maybe like a TV tray or like TV. Everything has some symmetry to it. So based on that, it would really, help. Everything just kind of shapes together as you use things like mirror and kaleidoscope on it. Now, it takes a bit of practice. I could go on this, but being a podcast, I just want to lay down the concepts here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of it. But based on those things, that's huge. That's really huge for the foundation of my work. So, yeah, I think I could drop that for now. You guys got any questions or have anything else you want to add?
Oh, I'm sure Mikey's
Well,
got quite a list.
I just know that's probably like what I ran into and why like getting rid of one wall was getting rid of other pieces of the building that I was looking at because of that way it was built, where it was like changing one thing is actually changing multiple sections of the entire sculpt. Thank you, Notre Dame, for the raid. I appreciate you. So basically, I liked what you were saying about shapes because I tried to get that across a few episodes back because, I do more traditional art. That's what I went to school for and everything. And so, like, shapes is the basics. It's what they teach you. And, for people who have trouble, like, I know some people are super great at structures but not really great at character modeling, even though it's the same concept, but it seems different to people. So if you have that problem with character modeling and the way he was just talking about building buildings, like, or how he builds, a good book to look up is Bridgman's Figure Drawing. They have tons of different versions of it now, but it teaches you how everything is a shape, just like he was saying. Everything at its base, even in characters and everything else, is a shape, and it breaks it down for you. So yeah, if you want to look into that a little bit more. I actually had some outside topics I wanted to discuss, but I think that'll come later. So okay. Jamie, if you had any questions, or if Captain Morgan, if you had any more tips you want to throw out, feel free to keep rattling them off, because I thought that was extremely helpful and people needed to hear that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
Any more tips, or do you want me to sort of delve into question time?
Let me try and rack my brain. So yeah, I have some more tips. So instead of using text displayers for things like windows for buildings, use paint. I mean, you could use both. Use them how you feel. I mean, based on your style. Like it, there's no like, you know, concrete way or set way. But something I came across with text displayers is that they don't really get affected by lighting. So when you drop a text display as a window and you set the opacity for it, you're not going to get that shininess that might happen if you have a spotlight aiming at your building or a sun, etc., etc. So sometimes, same thing with water. I do use like a mix of text displayers and paint flecks to create water, but you know, text displayers once again, you won't get that shininess or that reflectiveness that you would get if you use paint. Um, Something else, if you want to create some like grass, just something really simple. You could also use paint, paint flex, and paint mode. They have all different kinds of style. Like they got veins. I use typically veins, and then you could play with the set. I could go on all day, but I really think it's important for anyone if you really want it, you're gonna get there. You just have to play with all the settings that Dreams offers. So by playing with the settings of paint, I realized that I can make grass, I can make kind of like atmosphere, like fog, using the opacity and animating the paint flecks. Uh, I just made kind of like some Christmas decorations that are, I used like a black outline that I drew, and then I added some glowing dots around, and then it created this standalone Christmas fixture that was all out of paint. But I guess my biggest step is just to not feel afraid to experiment with all that Dreams has to offer. Um, Play around with the settings. You'd really be surprised that how much things, how versatile things could be when you start diving into the settings of things like paint.
Yeah, we learned that a little bit the other night because we were on stream on Saku's channel, Saku's Mind, and the things he was showing me with paint, and I was like, yeah, that's really the difficulty of Dreams. It's like something can be done, but you don't know how to do it. Like you don't know exactly where even to look. But the moment you find out where that setting is or where those options are, it opens up everything to you.
So many doors. Oh my God. Many doors. That stream from last night, I learned so much stuff from it, and I am tempted to try and get back into creating after seeing that, because it's so helpful to see like the different type of styles and techniques that you can use. And that's the thing with Dreams. There's like a million different techniques, and everybody has their own technique. Like you, Vicious, have a particular technique how you'd create, and Captain would have his own technique on how he would create. And everyone has their own style and use the different tools that Dreams provides in a very different way. So it's always great to see the different ways that people create, because it can help you to only better yourself.
Oh my God, Boom.
Yeah, Boom Shakalaka is having a lot of fun in chat.
Oh, yeah.
and I love to see it. I love to see it.
This guy Boom Shakalaka has made me sing more times than I could count. Right? For one bit even. It's been a crazy journey.
Bit. So you out here you out here like that for a bit?
For one bit, I've been singing songs like Barbie Girl and everything else under the sun.
Oh no!
On stream. All because of this guy.
So Cap, I mean, how did you get into architectural design? Did you initially start off with the vision to create buildings? Was you trying to create a game? Like what is your origins within Dreams?
All right, so it started last year with Cyberpunk. So
Hmm.
I recently got into Cyberpunk only a few years ago. It's been kind of like a hidden gem to me all my life that I never knew of. So Cyberpunk, obviously, I maybe like Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that. Those games out there,
Hmm.
that's more dystopian, right? But
Hmm. Yeah.
um, you know, I kind of just got into the whole vibe of Cyberpunk recently with the hype of Cyberpunk 2077. I am
Hmm.
very new to the world of that world, but that world also kind of like drew me in, um, into kind of like world building in general. So I always thought it would be really cool. The greatest feeling I have is to walk through like something like Night City, or just feel like I'm walking through Night City and I have like, some lo-fi going on in my headphones and I'm just walking in the rain or something. Like just like that really like enveloped feeling of like being in a city. I'm not a city boy, so maybe that might be part of it. I don't know. But I mean, I haven't lived in the city. Maybe that's my calling, but I just just kind of like resonating in it, just
Hmm.
resonating, being like felt like there's towers above you. I visited New York City a while back because it was by my college, and I wouldn't stop taking pictures of anything. I just loved how great humankind is for making such structures, for having that commitment and that power, that complexity of like I don't know how in the world, like when I look at a building and like look at everything, I want to know like how did they get there? Like, and that kind of like drove me a little that kind of drives me a little bit now into architecture.
So I'm gonna switch this mode because I feel
All
like
right.
there's a topic that we really need to discuss, and we have enough people
Oh
here
no.
from the community
Oh no.
to we have enough people here from the community to so that I can know whether or not I'm just being
Back more.
a rider, if you will. So I watched the video game awards last night.
Oh, here we
I
go.
I
Oh,
I
it's happening.
I
It's happening.
normally don't watch award shows, but y'all know that I have dubbed myself the ambassador of dreams. So let's get to the first point. What?
I just know where you're going with this, and I can see what's going to happen. It's funny.
Let me just say first and foremost, I was super upset last night because Dreams was only up for one, like, was only nominated for one category, and it was VR. Now, mind you, okay, I'm good with that. I'm not good that it was the only category, but I really, really felt like Dreams deserve, like, got, to use the term of the awards people, I felt Dreams got snubbed last night. And I want to know if anyone feels the same. Like, do I just love Dreams too much?
No,
Like,
I think you're completely right. Dreams deserves a lot more attention than it's. I feel like it deserves a lot more awards. Now, you know, I didn't watch the full thing of that. I've been kind of like working on a winter gym for the past couple days, but yeah, I completely agree. Dreams is a obviously there's so much more to this than uh, I feel like any of those other games can offer. I even know people who right now are like, I want to stick with Dreams even though Cyberpunk came out because I just love either they love creating or they love just being a part of everything Dreams has to offer, and that's really saying something to me, you know.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so let me just continue with these details. So not only was it only nominated in VR, but it lost VR to what is it? Half Life,
Alex.
Alex. And I
Oh
was just
no.
and I was just like, you can make Half Life Alex in dreams. I got
I know
so
people who would too.
yeah, I got
All right,
so infuriated.
all right, I'm gonna jump in here. Okay, so I used to have the same idealistics of dreams and awards that you do, Mighty, but I have recently let it go, and the reason why is because I think it, it doesn't really matter right now because dreams is so young. In the next 2 or 3 years, when I believe dreams is going to really blow up, like once these creations that people have been working on since the beta start to get released in 2021 and 2022, that's when dreams is going to really blow up and people are going to appreciate and understand what dreams is. A lot of people right now don't even know what dreams is, and that's because we need major breakthrough games to come through dreams for people to finally realize what they're missing out on. Once that happens, there is going to be so many awards given to dreams because of the content that was created on it. Now granted, there is amazing content already on dreams, and I appreciate that, but dreams needs to have a multitude of
Yes.
premium, amazing, mind-bending content for it to be able to get the recognition that it solely deserves. And that is it.
Okay,
It's
this
the
is
only
the
way.
problem. This is the problem. This is my retort. And Morgan, if you have anything to throw in here before I get going, please feel free to just jump in.
Here we go.
Oh no. You go ahead. You go ahead,
Okay.
Mr. Vicious.
See, this is my problem with it. See, I can understand if the masses don't see what it's capable of, but in a room full of game developers, I have a problem with that because they should already be able to see. I mean, to be fair, people have made games in dreams already that look better than a lot of the indie games that have been super touted in the last couple of months. I mean, now one that I really like just came out, Unto the End. Like that, you can make that in dreams. Like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a chance for the community to do, like, and I mean gaming as a whole, to do something good for itself. Like,
I would like to jump in now because
okay,
I there is something I've been wanting to kind of get out there for a while, and I think might actually help with kind of like video game developing in dreams. A collab board. So we have tons of people who are working on projects that are very similar to each other. And they might, these people don't even talk to each other. They're just kind of like in dreams. I don't know about you, but I feel like there's like a lot of communicating going on in dreams, but more of it is kind of like being on Twitter or Facebook or, streaming Twitch, whatever. I feel like it'd be better for dreams as a platform to kind of integrate even more. I mean, there is the In Dreams, in dreams.me, but I feel like there should be something like collab board where you say, I'm working on this horror project, right? And it's gonna have it's gonna be first person, and we're gonna have aliens, we're gonna have it's gonna be sci-fi. I need help. Post to collab board. Collab board. Someone searches horror game or aliens, finds your project, clicks on that, says, hey, I'm open to help. Except they get thrown in on that. You guys work together. And, by doing something like that, you're synergizing projects. You're not doing projects individually, you're doing things together. And I feel like Dreams has a lot of people who are making games and projects individually. Because I am one of them. Like it's hard for me to just pull someone off to the side in the Dreamiverse and be like, hey, like I see you do this. That is kind of rare. I think that a collab board is a must, and I think if anyone from Dreams or Media Molecule would like to kind of integrate something like that using their tag-based system or their search system, I think that would be excellent, and I think that would really help a lot of people out.
I
All right.
I agree. I agree. I can't think of the gaming community sitting back, seeing Dreams and not pushing it. Just like I can't see Sony not pushing it, which they haven't been. And it just seems like they at least would understand the possibilities, because in a few years, I mean, now mind you, I do believe we'll be able to bring in more people slowly as we grow, as people put out these projects. But the year you're eligible for these awards is the year you come out. Like, that's the thing. And these awards, when you have all the kids watching and all that stuff, that's when you can get your growth from it. Not because I don't feel like it's something like, how do you say? Like, I do feel like it could find like a second, third, and fourth life, kind of like how Among Us did, where it was out for 2 years and then all of a sudden it became this phenomenon that it is now. But I don't know. I really feel like it deserved to win something.
I mean, they have won awards. I mean, they won some recently, actually, prior to the Game Awards.
Yeah, but I'm talking like mainstream awards.
Yeah.
This is the most mainstream of awards that you can get. And they even lost, and just one last thing, they even lost the Innovation and Accessibility Award.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't deal with this right now. I don't get it. It's I don't know. Maybe it's, maybe we'll save this. Maybe we'll save this for Abby when she comes on.
I totally agree with you. It definitely deserved at least one award. At least one. I mean, it was so easy for them to win multiple awards throughout the Game Awards for the type of thing that Dreams is, but they didn't. But look at it another way. In 2 years' time, again, when Dreams blows up, and I'm sticking to my guns, in 2 years' time, Dreams is going to be completely different than what it is now. There is going to be 200% more players, 200% more creators, because I'm telling you, when these games come out that I know people are working on, Dreams is going to blow up. Now, consider this. Once Dreams does blow up, right, it will be more than just a game. It's going to be a platform, a fully fledged platform. There is no reason when the 2022 Game Awards come around that individual creators within the Dreams platform could not win awards for their games within it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree that could happen. I definitely do. But win awards as in the like at the video game awards, I feel like they're going to be overshadowed by the big boys at that point. Like, I mean, but it won't
be because the Game Awards and these type of award systems, they're all run on player bases and popularity, trends, how many players are playing the game. That's all criteria that go against an award, right? So if a game has massive amounts of players, they're going to win awards. Regardless whether it's crappy game like Fortnite, it's still going to win awards because of the sheer amount of players that are playing it. When Dreams blows up and someone creates a game on Dreams that has 1 million players playing it because it's this amazing idea that someone has created, there is no reason as to why they would not be nominated for it, because they fit all the criteria of that of any other studio. Just because it's made on Dreams is irrelevant.
Do you guys, I want to throw a quick question out there just for Dreams growth, right? Because it's kind of relevant, right? Because you guys are saying if it were to win awards, then Dreams would be a lot more recognized, right? Is that kind of what we're saying?
Yeah,
well, that's what awards are for. They're for recognition.
Yeah, and I feel like it'll be more recognized, and it'll. Yes, I'll just put it like that. Yes, so continue.
Do you think that there would be ever a PS but that it would be a PS Plus free of the month game or something like that in the near future.
I would
I
hope.
think
Go
I
ahead.
think Dreams should be pre-installed on every single console.
I think so too.
End of.
I
It
think
should
so
be
too.
a free service to say if you come to the PlayStation family, you have the ability to create games on your console. It's one of our selling points. That's why we give you it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an excellent
But
feature.
that's not going to happen. And just a point on Boom Shakalaka's comment where he says Dreams games will never be put on the same platform as professionally made games as it's just not in the same league. As of right now, I would say you're correct, but for looking into the future, I could not disagree with you more. I think Dreams has the ability to create games that we would never actually see in real life because developers wouldn't take the risk on the type of game that it is. Because at the end of the day, gaming studios are creating games to ultimately make money. So they tend not to do risky games because they need something that's going to be profitable. And that's
Right.
where Dreams can really hit a niche market because Dreams will allow the platform of gaming to bring out these unique experiences that professional studios wouldn't necessarily want to take the risk on. And with Dreams, you can because there's no risk. It's all reward with Dreams. And I can see Dreams coming to a point where it's going to be much larger than what we're seeing now. It's going to be a much bigger platform. We're going to have the ability to post our games onto the PlayStation Network, onto the store and stuff. That it's
Oh,
these
that
type
would be amazing.
are going to happen. I mean, with a 10-year plan and with the amazing content people are creating already, it would be stupid not to think something like this is going to be in the works, right?
Yes.
So I think personally, and this might be me being biased because I'm such a big fan of Dreams, but I really do believe that Dreams, if done correctly, has the opportunity to change the gaming industry forever. And
I mean,
that may sound silly, but if you look at the actual elements of what Dreams allows people to do and what we already have with Dreams, Media Molecule and Sony are basically building a empire of indie game studios and indie game developers for
yep.
free. They're not just gonna not st- they're not just gonna sit on that. They're gonna use it. And the difference is people that are in this game want to be used for it. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone that's a creator on Dreams would love to be a fully fledged game developer. That's
Oh,
why we
definitely.
create in Dreams. So if given the opportunity to do that, we're gonna just slap that up as quick as we can.
You know, I
So
I know some people here in chat. Like, have you seen any of Reckley Snipe stuff?
mm,
Or
Yes.
mhm,
there's a couple people or Miyotaku. These people they're working on projects that like are up there with what I would say like right up there and like that could be like the top Steam games.
mm,
Like
yeah,
it it's or top Steam indie games, whatever of like horror, whatever. They make amazing stuff, and these are just people who are individuals that I know. Reckley does pretty much all the design himself, and he's making like unbelievable stuff. And I wanted to also throw something out. Like it was someone's birthday, not too long ago, and I decided to make uh, a gift for them using Dreams, and I made the whole mechanics of. I don't know if you guys know Time Splitters 2. There was this mission where you it's called Virus, and you one person starts off on fire, and you have to go and tag the other people, and the last person who's not on fire wins. And I basically made that whole mechanic in less than a morning, and I created I did recreate the snowman characters. I created a whole world for them to play in, and I did all this in a morning, and that was a whole feature in a video game of Time Splitters 2 remade in just a morning.
yeah.
And I think that kind of power, that kind of how fast that is unbelievable. Like people could really uh, that Dreams is just such a powerful tool.
Yeah. I mean, like Eddie just said in chat, Dreams is going to be massively used for research and development purposes in the gaming industry and in the film industry, and for art, because the turnaround time, especially like for the gaming aspect at least, and especially for the animation side, it's so much more faster than your conventional programs that people use to create this kind of stuff. And it's simply down to the fact that Dreams has no rendering time at all. I mean, if you create a scene in Maya or Blender, you've got to wait for that stuff to render. You've got to, put all this detail and wait for things to pop in and stuff. And none of that happens with Dreams. So if you're thinking of making a fully fledged animated feature film, you could pretty much gray box the whole entire movie out in Dreams in a couple of days. That would have probably took months to do in any other conventional engine. And that type of time saved is money saved. And
Yes.
I can really see big boys using Dreams, not for, bringing out content, but for using it internally to save time. That's going to happen. It would be stupid for it not to.
Yeah. I could see, if you want to be, a movie or film or whatever, you could lay out lighting ideas or mock-ups or scene mock-ups. You could do scene mock-ups for real. I mean, for like video games like from Unity or Unreal, you could just do a quick mock-up in Dreams, of like, oh, we're gonna do this or this or this, and I think mock-ups are a huge, what makes Dreams like so. I'm just trying to think of all the different applications of mock-ups that you could use Dreams for. It's really endless. It really is endless. But
I mean, just imagine if they added enterprise tools to Dreams, like so if they opened up like an enterprise platform where you could use Dreams commercially for gray boxing and stuff. Imagine creating this 3D scene that you'd use for a cutscene in a game. Imagine being able to export that into Unreal as a 3D scene, so then they can start working from that directly in the software that they're going to be creating the game in. You see, there are so many different options for Dreams, not just from make a game, but from a business standpoint, there is limitless opportunities for what Dreams is capable of. And we're going to see all of that. I mean, that's why they have a 10-year plan. There is just so many different roads they can take with this, and it's going to be a joy to see where it goes.
Yeah, the reason these things bother me is because there's a ton of people who seem to believe that the is Dreams dying thing keeps coming up in the community all the time, and I don't think it is, but I also just fear that it's never going to get the recognition it deserves because it's not being recognized by anyone except for the people who already know how great it is. And maybe, and I think you're right, as that grows and as the applications roll out for this, as you say, it'll become a platform of its own. Like, I believe that that's true, and I hope that that's true, but I also know that even still, but like something could come out that's just like Dreams. And if they don't stamp that, like put their foot down on this is our territory of what we've done with the gaming world, like it's very possible that they'll just get passed over. And I'd hate to see that happen, but it happens all the time in business. I mean, that's just like, this is purely from a worry of business. I'm gonna play Dreams until I don't have fingers. Okay. Like that's like, you don't have to worry about me leaving Dreams. Like it's, like I said before, it's everything I ever wanted, but that's the way business is. And yeah, you might have a 10-year plan, but so did Destiny. And while they exist, it's not what it was supposed to be. And that's my worry. So, I mean, and of course, Destiny, it sucks. Anyway, the point is...
But they're not short on players, though. They're not short on players.
Yeah, but they're not at the level of players that they wanted either. Like, that's the thing. They did all the picking up the stats, and this is what we'll get if we do this. And then they have enough players to basically continue being a game, but they don't have the amount of players that allowed them to keep a multi-million-dollar deal. So that's what I'm like. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, now I hate to talk about Destiny. Destiny is atrocious to me. So, like, is there anything else anybody wants to? Anything anybody else wants to add on to this topic? Because I actually have our first submitted question from a community member that approached me and brought up something that I didn't think was possible. So it's just so against what I feel that it's what I want to bring up next. So y'all take it from me for a few minutes.
I'd like to hear that right away. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get into that.
Okay, I wanna read it because, yeah, I'm not gonna say who, but I do want to read it.
Okay.
It says, I've been talking to a lot of different dreamers lately, specifically on Twitch, and I've encountered a scary amount of people in the community who, from what I've gathered from my conversations, don't want the PS5 upgrade. They feel the thermo is good enough as it is, and it doesn't need to be upgraded.
Nani?
Now,
okay. Wow. Okay.
That is completely counterintuitive to everything I think. So yeah, I want to know.
Okay, right. I'm jumping straight in. Why would you not want more thermo? Like, why would you not want to be able to put more stuff in your game? Why would you not want to be able to add more stuff to anything that you can create in Dreams? That's just. I'm sorry, I don't know who wrote that and who's supporting that letter, but that's absolute rubbish. And
I think it's based on Dream's PS4.
Yeah,
PS4. Yeah. You know?
I mean, I can see that, but I mean, within the next 2 years, the majority of PS4 players will probably migrate over to PS5 anyway.
Yep.
It's usually the case. 2 years down the line, the majority of players that are going to upgrade have upgraded. So I can't see them upgrading the firmware and bringing out a PS5 version anytime soon because of splitting the community. And we've had this discussion numerous times. But once the time comes where there is enough players, especially Dreams players that have migrated over to PS5, they're going to jump out with this massive PS5 update. Let's just get real for a second. Media Molecule are pioneers in developing and pushing out the most that the system can do and trying new things and being able to use all the elements that a console has. They've done this from Little Big Planet. They did it with Tearaway. Now they've done it with Dreams. They're just so creative. They can't help themselves. They have to use everything that is usable. That's going to happen with the PS5. It's going to happen.
And that's just the thing, like with the next Dream PS5 updates, I'd like to say, for the Media Molecule team, that we have to give them a lot more credit than what sometimes we, maybe we want certain features and they haven't been updated in a while. I know I come into people's streams. I don't want to mention whose, but they'll be like, how come Media Molecule? I feel like Media Molecule is slow, or I feel like they're not updating their game enough as they should be. But do realize that we had a Little Big Planet. And we were thinking about, what if this was more 3D and everything? And then came Dreams, then came this huge package. And I just feel like it's only going to get better. I don't think that they set their eyes on Dreams and was like, okay, we're done. I think in my eyes, they're already looking, 5-10 years ahead, and trying to build even better systems and, for basically talking about Dreams PS5, like what the next level is going to be. And I feel like it's going to be a lot better than what Dreams is now. So I do want to just throw that out there.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that. I do feel that, and I'll say I won't take sides in this statement I'm about to make, but with something, when you love something, people's love of things, like I always tell people, but as I always do, I take it back to film. But what you just described sounds like what happens in film all the time. When someone makes a masterpiece and they do it and it's their first movie, then everything that comes afterwards, fans are like, oh, they're not doing as great as they were. I mean, they could be maybe, but like, I get it. But I think the thing that's come up in the most recent evolution of gaming has been the internet. And I don't mean in multiplayer, but I mean in how much you can speak with your community. And the same person who sent me that other message also brought up this little tidbit where they were saying that the reason you hear that, like what you were just talking about, Cap, is because people are starting to say that they're not being as open with the community and as open in conversation with the community as they were. And so that leaves people to start making their own timelines. And when people start making their own timelines, it's the worst timelines you could possibly make. Because I mean, the one thing that you really get to understand while playing Dreams is, hey, it's not always that easy. Like, hey, why don't they just do this? And it's like,
yeah.
Have you tried doing that in Dreams? It's not easy.
I would not like to think about how they made this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I mean,
that would hurt my head.
that's where that conversation comes from, though, where it's like, when are you gonna, like, when is the update coming? When are you changing this? It's like everything is so up in the air that they can't. It's like a trap. They can't answer people, and people have never-ending requests. So it's like, we're working on it, and it's like, hey, but that's not good enough. And then it's like, but that's what we can say right now. So, that's where that comes from. Overall, it's I don't think it's going to be an issue. The people who really love Dreams and what it, like, for the people that exist now within the platform, I believe, like, will be here. If you actually gave Dreams a chance, you're not leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
It'll be
if
fun.
most people love Dreams as much as they say they do, they'll upgrade to PS5 purely for Dreams and Dreams alone. I know I would.
So Noda said, historically with Dreams said too much too soon. So now they're more selective with what they put out. Yeah. And it happened on a dime. It happened on a dime. Yeah. They were like, oh crap, we messed this up. We got to slow this down.
We got to hold it back a bit.
Yeah. Not everyone has a budget for PS5. Yeah, that's true.
Will change. Yeah, but that will change.
Give
it a couple of years. They're going to be bringing out discounts, pre-owned consoles, bundle packs. Right now, I can completely understand it, especially in the current climate that they're in. With COVID and everything, people are not making as much money. Some people aren't making any money. So as of right now, I totally get it. But, in the future, that's going to change, and people are just going to migrate to the new system everybody always does.
It'll be natural. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a natural cause and effect.
Yeah, I mean, and they're gonna come out with, like you said, the other model, the one that doesn't look like a Yu-Gi-Oh popped collar. They're gonna come out with another different version PS5 that and they're gonna be changing prices and things are gonna fall. Like, I do believe that while there are many reasons to get a PS5. If you could ever find one, there's many reasons you could get one right now, but you don't necessarily need it. And I'm telling you this as a person who really wants one. I really want one, but it's not that. It's count the people who have them lucky, and it's just not that big a deal yet. Now, if it comes March and this hasn't rectified itself, smell my eyes, okay? It's gonna there's gonna be a problem, okay? If it comes March, but for right now, they still got kinks they need to work out. they still, they got a lot of things that they need to work on with the PlayStation itself. And, I just, it's not that big a deal. So just hold off, be patient, and it'll be more worth it by the time you can get a PS5. So, yeah, but as far as these people who are saying Dreams doesn't need to evolve, basically, I don't know who you are. And if you're in chat, please step up and say something, because I have to believe that I'm not hearing this argument correctly. Like if it's the argument of I don't want the community split, okay, I can have that discussion. But if you're saying I don't want the game I love to evolve, I don't want it to be further optimized, that just sounds...
we need to talk on what's happening.
Let's do talk about how PS5. I don't have a PS5, but we already seen things on Twitter from like people like Elka Gaming, or you guys have seen it yourselves. That some scenes run a lot smoother than they do on PS4. Of course, why wouldn't they? Something I would like to see more of. Now it's going to be more focused on PS5 gen consoles and games for PS5, but really start thinking about making a game for PS5. And I only say that because we will be getting more upgrades and updates to Dreams in the future, guys. And think revolutionary. Think about if your game is going to take a year to make or so, why not get ready for all that Dreams is going to be offering in the future, or just like think about just making a game for PS5, because we have that that strong suit with things like paint. I noticed that with paint, in PS5, you could have so much paint in a given area, and it doesn't even lag the system. And that is amazing. You can make things like, don't make things like this, but you can make things like Genshin Impact with, in terms of the grass being all around, like a whole world and landscape. And it's not going to lag your PS5 if you do that in something like Dreams now. I mean, the scale, you can't make the scale of Genshin Impact in just one scene in Dreams. But the fact that now you could work with paint in that way, where you could add so much more paint elements to increase your world building, I think that's huge. And I think that's something you guys should focus on now if you have a PS5 and you have Dreams. I mean, it might be focused toward PS5 players at the moment because people with PS4 might not be able to play it, but that's okay because we want to get to those next steps anyway. So,
well, of course. I mean, it's like saying, we don't want the next Unreal Engine. We don't want it. We just want things to stay as they are. We don't want ray tracing and higher quality textures and bigger worlds. We don't want none of that. Let's just keep it where it is. It's exactly the same thing. And to say otherwise is a ridiculous statement, and I won't have none of it. It's just stupid.
We want Netscape. That is funny.
But
oh man,
yeah, I mean, Dreams is going to evolve naturally, and I am here for it.
Yes,
I want Dreams to be the biggest, baddest version of itself that it can possibly be, because it's amazing right now. Imagine what it will be like in 5 years' time.
Oh my God. I can't. I'm thinking Cyberpunk 2077. I'm thinking, huge. I'm thinking huge.
Huge.
It's gonna be huge.
And that's the thing. That's the thing with Dreams, though. It's possible. Yeah. Anything is possible with Dreams if you have the time, the resources, the people to help you out with it. Anything is possible within certain guidelines. Obviously, multiplayer is not here yet, and massive, MMORPGs out the way. Let's forget about that. But for single player experiences, something like Cyberpunk will be possible one day. I mean, it's possible to make something like that now, not to the graphical fidelity that Cyberpunk will be offering. You could actually make something like Cyberpunk right now for the graphics that there is on the PS4
You
version.
could trick the eye in Dreams. You could find tricks to get what you want. You know, no matter with Dreams engine, you could find the tricks to make things look very similar to Cyberpunk 2077 right now. And
that's the thing,
don't be discouraged, guys.
You can put dreams within dreams within dreams within dreams within dreams within dreams, and you can keep going and keep going and keep going.
That's a DuckTales plot. Stop it.
No, but it's true though. You can literally link all these dreams together, and you could create a 200-hour campaign if you wanted to, if you had the time. So there is no reason to say, like, you know, that a game like Cyberpunk would not be possible in Dreams. Of course it is. But the time it will take someone to create that will take 10 years. So just
one person, though. But what if they had 100? Huh?
No, it only takes a full-blown studio.
Nah.
Yeah. So, I don't. Yeah. When it comes down to it, those are just the three things, that I wanted to go over today, because I just needed to.
That message kind of raged me a little. I feel funny inside about that. I don't want to say too much on the subject because I'm gonna get angry.
Please do though, because why else are we here? No, I'm just, we're on the internet. Get toxic.
Dude,
no, I'm just.
If I get toxic, people will smell my eyes. Okay.
Oh God. Yeah. Like, I mean, it just, like I said, that just seemed real weird to me that anyone would say that they don't want the thing that they use to get better.
I think it's purely down to the PS4 situation.
Yeah, you think it's it's salty boys?
Yeah, I think it's salty boys. I really do. And I think that their opinions will change as soon as they get a PS5 and they see the frame rate jump on Dreams. You know, the games that they've previously played that had like 10 frames per second because there was too many paint flecks on the screen. Then they get their shiny new PS5 and all of a sudden it's like buttery smooth 60 frames a second. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I changed my mind. I want that update now because I've got this new hardware. And it's purely because they haven't seen it and because they're salty because they haven't got one.
You know, I like an argument about Dreams PS5 being the best game. I mean, Dreams PS4 being the best game on on PS5. Can we get that argument? I mean,
no, I already said that like 3 episodes ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just reiterate that. Dreams PS4's best game on PS5.
Yeah,
so,
in time. In time,
it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I think that time could be given now, but
yeah,
that goes back to the original argument.
Look,
just saying.
Dreams will be the best game ever made by Sony, period, at one point.
At one point.
At one point it will be. We just got to be patient. Just let it just ride its road. And I'm telling you, 24 months from now, we'll be back on this podcast. And we'll be like, do you remember that episode 17, when we had Captain Morgan on and we was talking about how Dreams is going to become like this major thing? Wasn't that funny that we were right? You know, now everybody's using Dreams. Like, you know, now 90% of gamers have a PlayStation 7 just so they can use Dreams. We're going to be having that conversation.
And we have talked about the Dreams 2.0 idea as for like when would be too early. Like, when would people be mad? I said they could give it to me now and I'd pay for the game again, but that's just because that's how much I love Dreams. But yeah, we've gone over that. And yeah, I mean, if there ever is if they were working on a straight up like upgrade to the bubble bath engine, like that would, and they were like, well, now we can do what we initially wanted. But yeah, they just as, Falco says, is it trust they got us this far? Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And that's why if everything comes together as we're hoping it will, and my computer doesn't fall into a black hole next or whatever the hell's happening around here, should be here next week.
Yes.
Oh. awesome.
if everything holds as if all the schedules are being checked, the okay from Sony has come through. We can't have Kareem and Abby at the same time. We're going to start with Abby and try to lock down Kareem later. But
Kareem the guy.
yeah, we should be able to, if the schedules hold, we'll have Abby next week.
It's going to be a fun episode.
I know some of y'all thought I was lying. I know some of y'all were like, "Oh, they ain't going to be talking to MM. They just start blowing smoke." Well, you might still be right. However, as far as my communications with them have come, like it should be next week. But we have a backup. If we don't have them next week, then we will have Keld next week.
Yes, we will.
So
either way, it's going to be a great episode next week.
yeah, but when we do get MM, that's going to be the end of season 1 for this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully we can do it
full
before the
season.
holidays. Yep.
Yeah, full season. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Season 2 coming out.
Yeah, hopefully. No.
Providing that Will's PC continues to work.
Yeah, everything is. I was waiting for that. I don't know how y'all feel. Like if y'all have ever experienced this phenomenon, but things go wrong in threes.
Oh yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, so it's like there's always 3 things, and like for me, it was like it got like my computer died, then it got cold, and my joints started messing up because I got those old man joints where I could tell the weather. Like that started happening. And then I was like, but you know what? We've gotten through the week. Everything's fine. My computer won't start again. What?
Oh, yeah.
And I just replaced everything in it. So but like I said, I found out what it was. It was a hard drive had died. It had messed with the motherboard to make it boot out of order. And as soon as I unplugged it, everything started back up fine. But yeah, that was stress. That's why y'all see me over here with my mic muted, like vaping, straight up clouds out of the sides of my screen. Because yeah, my nerves are shot at this point. But anyway, let's get back to the episode. So, Jamie, did you have anything else you wanted to go over? Because we are about 10 minutes from our stop time.
Oof, I don't know. I feel pretty worn out from that whole "we don't want dreams to evolve" debacle.
I feel like you have more to say, and don't hold yourself back.
No. I don't want to go into any more.
Well, dude, I'm just saying. Do you need me to butter up? Do you need me to butter you up? Do you need Do you need a little oil on the areolas for a little extra rotation? What's going on? Like, tell me exactly what you need so that I can get you to explode on this podcast. And you too, Cap. You've been quiet. Don't think I haven't been looking at you.
I would like to talk about some of like the amazing scenes that have come up with world building in Dreams recently. Just like quick, kind of like a bit of a turn on the topic, but I don't know. It's up to you.
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, has anyone seen that Heavenly Castle? Because oh my god.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that was something else. I was blown away, guys. Absolutely blown away by that world.
Yeah.
And if
imagine
anyone
how
hasn't
more
checked it
blown
out
away.
yet, who might be listening to the podcast now, make that, go on Google, indreams.me, and save that Heavenly Castle on your save to play later list. I'm telling you.
Jamie, grab that link. Grab that link for us.
Yeah, let me do that.
But yeah, there was that. There was we have. I'd like to give. Did you guys interview Ian St. Artist at all, or any? Anime Boy. There's like tons of people who are making amazing world building elements. I feel like just as me, and I feel like they deserve a little bit of a shout out. Because Ian St. Artist has been making these huge mountain landscapes, and you could just take a walk, and he's getting just better and better, and everything's just feeling more realistic, and we have these artists here in Dreams that are just making unbelievable content when it comes to realism. They're really starting to strive toward more realism, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing right now. Any realistic scenes you guys may have bumped into recently in Dreams?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
Any realistic scenes or anything like that you guys may have walked into recently in Dreams? or
everything that I've seen recently because of my schedule has mostly been Bad Robo.
yeah.
Because I mean, he's like I mean, we tried to get him on, but he doesn't feel comfortable doing so just yet. Just yet. Yeah, like I've seen others in passing, but like I said, a lot of times when I get that moment to actually go through and see other people's creations, I'm not looking at names. I usually find them out through like Twitter. Like I'll be going through and see somebody post and be like, "Oh, I mean, because we all know, like we were talking about earlier, that painting from Nivi artist, the tiger."
Oh yeah. Oh
is,
man, that tiger. Holy moly cannoli. That was
that tiger is ridiculous.
Yeah. Let me see here. Anyway, boys, I saw you in Cap's stream. That's right. And he had mentioned you before, Anime Boy. But I will definitely look. Where's my friggin' pencil? Like, only reason I don't have
technicalities, man.
Yeah, I just don't want to touch anything outside of this screen currently until I can go after this show and verify that everything is working the way it should. So that's why I'm asking him to grab all the links.
Is this room really my room?
Yeah,
am I in a simulation?
Yeah.
Is this cyberpunk?
So yeah, it's just everything outside of this screen is unsure right now. So I'm just not messing with anything, but drop those links, everything. So yeah. Lucid, are you out here popping? You out here popping store links in the chat?
I'm popping store links.
I already dropped them. I dropped them
sorry.
before. See, look at you. You were you're trying to sell us out to these people. You're trying to sell us out.
Look, I mean, Lotion Lobby merch needs to be recognized. Okay,
I am
the
looking.
The people need to know.
We are actually working on a Lotion Lobby lotion.
Yes. Oh, yes, we are.
Like so that to sell to the people, to keep you from getting ashy. See, that's what we're doing out here for the people.
That's what we do.
All dreamers must be pristine. You must be smooth and shiny.
Yes, I am very ashy. Please send me.
This is actually making me feel bad. I'm like, we're not ready to sell out yet. Yes, we are. But we're
we are. We're totally
not.
ready. We're so there.
But yeah, so did you ever post the link for that he was told us to post? The creator? See, you're forgetting the job.
Yeah, I put Heavenly Castle on there.
There we go. And
yes.
you got everything.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I did put it there.
All right. So anyway, yeah, always show support to all Dreams artists, because with all of us working on stuff and trying to get projects off the ground, you can't remember that we need a player base. Very
true.
And that's, to go back to my original argument, that's why I don't like all these missed opportunities. This is why I don't like the idea that it's not being recognized within the industry as far as what is going on. So, I mean, I feel like most people that come to Dreams would be players. And then the rest, like, who doesn't want a never-ending game that creates, or a never-ending source of games? Like, that's, but at the same time, then they would be inspired. But every time someone creates, a lot of times we lose a player for at least a couple of months. So that's why I always promote getting people out there. That's why we've given away a copy of Dreams on this show, and we plan to do it again to whoever doesn't have it and is interested. But yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff. Just do everything you can to support the artists that are within Dreams and get more players to the platform.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on tonight. I feel like for a lot of people who are even here in chat, like I don't feel like I deserve the spot, as much as I've made so many
come
things,
on. You don't deserve it. You make like the best buildings in Dreams.
I don't know.
And more.
I always look at it and I'm like, it's not good enough. I'm just like, it's got to be. But I do want to throw out, I guess, since I'm still a little bit of spotlight left. I just made a whole new Japanese interior set. I'm working with Ninja Cat 3. If anyone has heard of Ninja Cat before, I will be doing all of the set workings for Ninja Cat. It's going to be over an hour-long movie. They did
wow.
the Honey World and Jerry and Jenny, but they've made hour-long
Oh,
movies.
those guys. Okay. Wow, that's going to be really interesting.
Samurai '09 is my boss, and I've been working with him diligently on making new Japanese interior sets that I also made remixable. So you guys, everything I try and make remixable. So that I made that. I just came across making probably 20 to 25 to 30 assets that for the winter jam that I'm going to be releasing too, that are also remixable and stuff. So definitely check my profile out, guys. I want to save you guys trouble. LL Captain _ Morgan on my PSN. Just look that up, and you guys will be able to see all of the new assets that are just dropping in. I don't know. That's it.
Bustin Juba says Cap is the IKEA of dreams, and I love that.
IKEA, you're gonna like throw me on the ground and stuff. You're like, is this thing gonna work?
Where's the manual?
Yeah. It's awesome. Thanks, Buzz.
As far as for Beetlebum showed up, was asking who it was. It's Captain Morgan, and the always remember, guys, that if you for some reason like can't sit here to watch us live, or if you can't go to our YouTubes and find the episodes, well, you can, but if you don't have time to do that, we're on Spotify as well as all other like major podcasting platforms. So our audio is out there.
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public. We're on a bunch of them.
Yep. RSS feed is out there for you to plug into whatever you use as well. So, Walmart furniture? What?
Walmart furniture? Walmart furniture? I mean, I haven't made it yet. Maybe I could make some Walmart furniture.
Oh, no.
I'm sure there'd be more ideas for it somewhere in dreams.
Lord. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, wait. Thermo's so cheap we can't believe it. That's actually a really good point because of like Captain's thermo, which is insane. What he can pull off.
Cap's bargain asset ranch.
Yes. I think people are giving you ways to make merch, my guy.
Yeah, you should capitalize on this right now.
Yeah, like
Monopoly.
Captain Furniture, the lowest thermo in town. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just saying it sounds so gold to me. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we are done for the day. Cap, because of how this started, you will be back soon.
Absolutely.
You will be back soon. Because I have to make it up to you somehow. Just all the trouble.
What's going on around here?
And I'm saying you're gonna have to come back to us again very soon. Just to get more
I'm gonna have to perfume my eyes.
Nice.
Make them smell good.
Nice. I can smell them. That's what I'm talking about. But so I guess last words, everybody.
Okay, last words from me.
Yeah.
Come back to me. I'm cooking something.
Well, I would just like to thank you guys both again. This was, a terrific honor to really be here. It's my first time ever being on a podcast, and just getting any really kind of spotlight besides like the streaming. I don't really see that as a spotlight. I just see that as like, just like a nice flow between me and people as I work on things, and I just really appreciate this, guys. I really
it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Definitely. The pleasure is all ours.
And for my final words, if someone tells you that dreams should not get updated with more stuff.
I knew you had more to say.
You tell them they are wrong. End of. Drop mic.
Yep.
All right.
I have no point. You know, I'm gonna see. I know tons of people gonna be updating assets and dreams. You know, and they're not gonna stop. So.
And I'm gonna take this moment to plug next Wednesday. For everybody that doesn't know, I do a secondary podcast called the Unexamined Life Podcast, where we talk about everything from movies to philosophy to astrophysics to gaming. It's everything that I can talk about outside of dreams. So, so that's basically every Wednesday, same time as this one starts, 3 when my computer doesn't explode. And I hope y'all can join me for that as well. But if not, next Friday, Made in Dreams podcast. It's going to be a big one. Either way.
Either way. But
so, love you all.
Good.
Thank you for joining, especially being that we were late.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.